Anthropic released some huge updates yesterday for their Claude models and also for Claude Code. And if you see what a lot of people are talking about, there's a lot of talk about Claude Opus 4.5, which is an incredible model that they released, a super powerful model. But that's not even what I'm excited about. And if you use AI for writing, that's not even what you should really be excited about either. There's something else that's flying under the radar that not a lot of people are talking about. And for us who build AI writing operations, specifically using Claude, or, we collaborate with AI for writing, Claude Code on desktop. They released Claude Code for your desktop app now. And this is like such a big deal. It changes everything. And there's not that many people talking about it. Now, if you're not familiar with Claude Code, or even using Claude Code for like writing or anything like that, you're probably thinking like, what the hell am I going to use a coding platform for when it comes to writing or collaborating with AI? But if you're actually still using the old Claude, website, or just Claude, regular Claude app on your computer, you're totally behind. You should be using Claude Code for this, for everything that you really do. It just works so much better, and for various reasons, including some that I'm going to show you today in this video, you're going to see why using Claude Code is so much more powerful, for collaborating and writing compared to just regular Claude, app or Claude's website. And it's even before getting started, before you get too scared or anything like that, it's important to know you do not even have to be technical at all. So like one of the things that took me so long, a while back before I started using Claude Code for all of my writing operations, one of the things that took me so long to make that transition from our regular Claude website to Claude Code was that I just thought it was too technical. Like, well, what the hell would I be using that for? That's too technical. That's for developers and stuff like that. And damn, like I wish I would have started like a long time ago, because it's just has taken my operations from here to here. Like it's a whole nother level. It's not even funny or comparable. But all right, so they released Claude Code for desktop. So what I want to show you in this video is how you can, just start using that to start building out your writing operations, or why it's just so much better to write within that environment, and also give you a peek into what my entire writing system looks like, which is pretty intense, but we'll talk a little bit about that. So, but first, let's just get started here. We got Claude Code on desktop. This allows you to run Claude Code locally or on secure cloud infrastructure within the Claude desktop app. So you no longer, before, what we were doing was maybe you would just run Claude Code right in the terminal of your computer, or maybe you would use something like Cursor to run it. But now we don't need to do that. We can literally do it right on Claude's app, and this is just like making it so much more accessible to everybody. One of the things I hate about dealing with Cursor and all of these different things is having to explain them, like students and people in my training program, or just people part of this community, like how to set up and deal with Cursor and all these different platforms, and people just don't want to deal with that right away. Even though it's not super hard, it's just another step. And Anthropic's just doing a great job of just taking that away. So now I'm very excited, because I can teach you all like how to just, mostly stick within fewer and fewer tools, instead of us having to get all over the place, right? So, all right, so Claude Code for desktop. The first thing we're going to need to do is download it. I'm going to drop the link below, but it's right here on claude.com/download. And you're just going to download the regular app here, okay? You're going to download it for whatever Mac or Windows. And once you download it, you're just going to open up the app on your computer here. And then once we have it open, you can see that this is just our regular Claude here, our regular Claude chat, and stuff like that. But if you take a look here in the top left, we have now where we can toggle this on and off. So we can toggle the regular Claude web app, and we can toggle the Claude Code. So once you toggle on the Claude Code, this is what it looks like here. So now we're dealing with Claude Code inside of the web app, and we have a couple options. We're going to select the folder, the code base, or whatever that we're going to work inside of. And then here we're going to deal with it locally, but you can also set this up for Claude Code on the web. And then we can work right inside of it. You could see here Claude Code can read, write, execute files inside of the folder. Be careful. Always make sure to back up whatever folder you're working in, so that it doesn't get screwed up later if you do something wrong, which is very likely at some point. So make sure to back it up. And what we're going to do here, just to demonstrate, is what you want to do is go onto your computer and you're just going to create a folder, right? You're going to create a folder anywhere for you to start working. If you're not familiar with this at all, create a folder. And then once you have this folder, if you are, let's say you're completely new to this and you don't have anything to put in there, just, start always working inside of this folder and talking to Claude like it's a collaborator, like it's a human, make notes, start documenting all of your stuff, create subfolders inside with your archives, with your newsletters, with all of that. Start doing this right now. Start building the brain of your AI with the help of Claude Code, because this is just going to get more and more important as time goes on. It's what's really helping us differentiate ourselves from the other just general users of AI who are just not on the same level, right? So, for example, you can see here that I have a couple folders here. I have folders for myself. I have folders for clients. I have personal folders. This is like my personal stuff. This is like traveling, my bills, like finances, health stuff, everything in there for personal, but we don't care about that right now. We're talking about writing. So here you can see I have a folder just for Alex. I use Obsidian to work with all of my documents locally and stuff, but you could do this however it is you want. And you could see that inside of my regular Alex folder, I started putting in, or I've been doing this for a long time, I have all these different subfolders inside. We have my AI Writer Ops training. This is the actual bootcamp training program, which is not open yet. It's closed until the next group, until I open it for the next group, which is soon. And this is the type of stuff we're going to be dealing with here. I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to hold your hand, walking you through how to build up these systems inside of Claude Code. So make sure to pay attention and keep checking back for when that gets opened up, hopefully within the next few weeks. But here you can see I have the training in here. I have all my curriculum. I have all 5 days of my curriculum in here, right? I have README files. I have status files, reference files. I have a decisions log. I have lessons learned. I have a student setup checklist, right? And as I'm using Claude Code, I can keep updating these files just like I'm talking to Claude, right? And then in there, I have my context profiles, right? I have my JSON context profiles, which you should damn well know what these are by now if you've been following me for any period of time, because I talk about them endlessly, and it's super important for you to create context profiles, which I'll tell you a little bit more in a few minutes if you haven't, how to start with that. But we have all my context profiles in here, like my voice DNA. This tells Claude how I talk, how I write. We have random notes that I take, and we have my Substack. I have my 5-day emo course, which is my the intro course you get when you sign up to my Substack. I have a newsletter content. I have all my newsletters here, my actual newsletters that I publish, right? Video transcripts, welcome emails, etc. So I have everything in here. Everything that makes up my writing business and businesses, I now document, store, and now, what's so game-changing about this is that Claude Code can now have access to all of this. I mean, it could have before, but now it's just even easier, right? That's why I'm so excited. So here we're going to come in here. Now let's just select our folder. We have Alex. This is the folder I just showed you. So now I just gave Claude access to that entire thing. So let's just use voice dictation just so you can see what we're talking about here. We're going to use the Opus 4.5. And we're going to talk to it just like you would be talking to regular Claude now, but now you know that it has all this context of everything about you, your entire file, your entire folder, and I can literally just tell it like, go through our entire system here, read all your files, and tell me what you understand about my entire writing system I have built. We'll see what that says. And then what you could do is just, instead of working, forget about Claude projects anymore. Forget about, multiple chats, all these different chats and projects and custom instructions. If you want to really scale up and take it to that next level, you just want to start using Claude Code, right? And what you're going to see here is Claude Code is reading through everything here. Now, this isn't optimal. This isn't the best thing to do. We don't want to every time tell it like, go read every single file in there, because the context is just going to get like huge and you're going to blow through a ton of money doing that over time. But what we can strategically do later on is start putting, you could put like a README file in there so that every time you start a new chat, just tell Claude to read that file to get up to date. But these are all things that, over time you just keep building piece after piece so that your system just gets more and more optimized. But right now, the point of this video is just to show you, go start right now building this out. And in a folder for Claude Code to have access to. Try to make that transition from Claude projects to Claude Code. So you can see here, just from looking at my folders, I mean, it's amazing. Now I have a complete picture. Here's my analysis of your writing system. You've built a sophisticated AI-powered content ops system for your brand AI writer ops, and here's how it works all together. We have my core architecture, context profiles. We have my skills system. This is something I didn't even talk about today. I'm going to save this for a later video, and this is what you're going to learn in my boot camp. But you could put your Claude skills inside of this system as well, all right? All right, so then we got the business model. It knows my workflow pipelines, supporting infrastructure. I even have MCP hooked up to this. It has access to my outside tools. Now we're getting out there. But what I just really want to show you is that if you start creating all of this, it doesn't matter if you don't even have anything right now. The first article that you write, the first newsletter you write, or maybe you already are running some writing operations for your own brand or for a client. Maybe you're a ghostwriter. If you're a ghostwriter, start documenting, start collecting all of the work that you're doing for your clients and put it into a damn folder and start organizing this, because you are just going to see how transformative it's going to be for your work. Same thing with your company. If you have an entire content arm of your company where we got blogs and we got, whatever it is that we're doing, what I just want to emphasize to start storing all of that, start documenting it, organizing it, so that you can give Claude Code access to it, and it's going to make it way better, right? And then we can talk about stuff like this, like take a look at my last newsletter, and then come up with 3 more newsletter ideas that we can branch off from it. This is a pretty bad example, but I just want you to see that it's going to be able to kind of just for you to get an idea of how you can use this now, right? So that's really what I wanted to show you here. I just wanted this video so that you really can start building up your writing systems, or just even, no matter how small or big the writing system is, start using Claude Code for it, especially now that it's easier because you don't have to deal with all that cursor and installing Claude Code and using some other, using the terminal or anything. We just have such a nice interface here where we can generate charts and images, and we have nice tables and everything, right? So you could see it takes a look at my last newsletter, which was about my Substack Notes skills. So if let's see, if you're familiar with my latest post, I posted here how to scale up your Substack Notes using this Claude skill that I developed. So Claude knew, all right, it went into my archive to find that, and it says here are some 3 other newsletter ideas that you can also branch off from that, right? And this just makes writing so much better. This makes repurposing so much better. If you're ever stuck, you now have this like superpower AI that can reach into all of your stuff and work with you. You don't have to explain context anymore. Like, guys, I'm not even explaining everything you can do here, but you could just see the potential, like, of where you can take this. Even I'm still learning how far I can take this, but status logs, my mental notes every day, like, I feel like this is truly the closest I've been to, like, what is it, like AI symbiosis or whatever it is, like where I just feel one with the AI. It sounds creepy, but it's like I've never had Claude understand me as good as it now can understand my businesses before this, because now I just document everything and give Claude Code access to it. So that's what you want to do. And then before going, I told you that inside of mine, I have, for example, all these context profiles, right? I have my ICP's business profile, but the most important is your voice DNA. So even if you're using Claude Code, if you're going to use it to write anything in your voice, your client's voice, or your brand's voice, you need a voice DNA context profile. This is a JSON document, a JSON profile that walks through, your voice, your personality, your brand's personality, what it should sound like, not necessarily focused on the specific words you use, but just giving this overall picture of what you should sound like And it's super important. It's the most important thing you can do if you want to start writing in a more unique voice. You can iterate on it all the time. And with that, you can put it inside of here, and you can now tell it, like, go ahead and write me newsletter number 3 and use my voice DNA to write it. You would do something like that, and then it's going to write that newsletter in your voice DNA, okay? And if you don't have that already, you should, because I have talked about it many, many times, but I'm going to link, I have a prompt that you will see right here that you can use to create your own voice DNA. All you have to do is run this prompt in Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, but we're talking about Claude. So you're just going to attach this prompt to Claude, or you're going to copy and paste it into Claude and attach any writing samples that you have, and it will create you your own context profile, your own JSON document that you can then save and put into your folder for Claude Code to use, right? Just to get started. So I just want you to get started with this. You should really get familiar with this right now, because it's really is the future of how AI writing operations are going, in my opinion, the best way to go, and it's the best thing you can start learning right now, to be honest, in my own opinion. So make sure to create your voice DNA, download the desktop app, and use the Claude Code. And going forward, we will be talking a lot more about this. So drop any questions or comments below, and yeah, start building out that system.